What's going on, everybody? Jason here, and today I've got another Grand Cherokee L. This is the 2021 Grand Cherokee L Limited. So starting things off in the front, you'll notice it's very similar to the Grand Cherokee L Summit, where you've got a bunch of chrome at the bottom and then chrome all around your grille, and then obviously underneath your LED headlights. Now everything else is the same, like you get your LED lights and then you get your LED fog lights, of course, your front sensors obviously built in, and then of course you get your front facing off-road camera as well with the washer. And then same thing like the Grand Cherokee L Laredo and all of those, all the Grand Cherokee L's inside here you do get active grille shutters. And looking at it from the side view, it's identical to the Grand Cherokee L Summit, but there's obviously a few touches like the wheels and some interior options that you do not get on this, which you do get on the Summit. Also on this Grand Cherokee L Limited, you do get the same Quadra-Track 1 4x4 system, which is similar to the Laredo video that I did, and you get on that as well. And on the Limited, like I showed you on the Summit, you do not get the air suspension, unfortunately not on these ones. So that means if you do plan on going off-roading, you can only go through 21 inches of fording water, compared to if you did have it with the Summit, you can go up to 24 inches. And of course on the Limited, you do get the body colored roof with the silver/black roof rails. And just like the Summit as well, you do get the side mirrors with the silver chrome and then blacked out right there with the turn signals in, and then right above this it's all silver, which goes all around, and the bottom portion is black. As for the wheels, these are 20-inch aluminum polished wheels, which I think they should have added like another option for these, because these I think could be upgraded and look, you know, much better. But hey, even though it's a, you know, just a Limited, these do look really nice. And of course you've got your chrome silver Grand Cherokee logoing right there. And moving to the rear of the Grand Cherokee L Limited, again, like I mentioned, this silver piece goes all the way around to the other side as well. Same lights, everything's exactly the same as pretty much a Summit. You get the chrome Jeep logo, you get your L 4x4, and of course this being a Limited, you get the Limited badging. And just like all of the Grand Cherokee L's, you do have this nice kind of like a spoiler piece with the brake lights, and then you've got your rear windshield washer type thing for the camera, and then of course here as well for your backup camera. And of course more of the chrome is shown on the bumper here, and then you've got more sensors in the back built into the rear bumper. This one does not have the exhaust tips like the Summit. Obviously it's like the Laredos, they're hidden underneath on both sides. And like the Laredo and the Summit, underneath here you have your hitch, receiver, and all of that trailer stuff that you need. And of course you can pull this plastic piece off if you are using it and put this back on when you are not. And the axle ratio on this Limited as well, it's 3.45, which means you can tow up to 6,200 pounds. Heading into the rear, it's pretty much the same as the Laredo. Of course you get a different interior color, which I'll cover in a second. But on this one you do get the Alpine system. It's a 9 Alpine speaker system obviously, and then similar hooks on the rear, 12-volt DC adapter. On this one you cannot power fold these seats like the Summit, so you'll have to do them manually, but hey, it still, you know, does its purpose. That's just a convenience feature. You don't really need it, but if you do, get a Summit. And of course right here you've got your tailgate close button. And if we lift this up right here, it's exactly like the Laredo, same size and everything. And then of course inside there you have your roadside kit and all that stuff. Coming into the rear of the Grand Cherokee L Limited, you can see the color, it's beautiful. It's kind of like a beige color. You got black trim up top. This is kind of like a, I guess you could say, leather, it feels like. You've got wood trim right here with the silver lining right underneath. You got black trim around your controls, and then storage space, cup holder space, and then this is part of your 9 speaker Alpine system. Also you've got a manual shade just like on the Summits on both sides, if you do need it. Coming into the rear seats, you can just see this beautiful beige color. This is actually called wicker beige, which, you know, it looks very unique and very nice. And the stitching on this is kind of like a silver type stitching, which looks absolutely beautiful with the beige. And then of course, just like any other Grand Cherokee L, on both sides you've got the netting on both sides on the rear to put any small things. Now this one doesn't have that center console like I showed you on the Summit. It's exactly like the Laredo, where you get the cup holders up here, a little bit of storage, USB ports type C and normal, and then 115 volt plug. Back here on the Limiteds, you also get heated seats, and then of course your dual control for the back. And entering into the rear, it's very simple, just like the normal Grand Cherokee L's. You get more space back here, and you get more of that wicker beige material with the silver stitching. And of course, you can't forget the USB ports on the back. And again, like I mentioned in the Laredo video, Jeep has spared no shortage when it comes to these USB ports. This little thing on here is a fam cam. That's what it's called. You can see everyone that's sitting back here with the touch of a button on your front screen in the front, which I'll show you in a second. Also on the Limiteds, if you want, you can get the rear entertainment system if you do want to, you know, have your kids or whoever entertained while you're going on that long drive. And of course, just like the other trim levels in the Grand Cherokee L, you can either get this in the 6-passenger, which you're looking at right now, or a 7-passenger. As for the key, it's exactly the same as the Laredos and the Summits. You got your lock, unlock, remote start, lift gate for the tailgate. You've got your panic button and then the Jeep logo at the back. With the keyless entry, like I mentioned, there is 3 buttons here you can press. You can even do it on the rear right there. And then if you want to unlock it, you can do it from back here as well. And to open your tailgate, you simply double tap and then it opens. If you want to close it, just double tap again and it'll just shut for you. And to hear what this Grand Cherokee L Limited sounds like, you're gonna double tap, give it a second, and it comes to life, ready to go for your adventures. Now, as for your engine options, when it comes to the Grand Cherokee L Limited, just like the Laredos, you can only get the 3.6 liter V6, you know, Pentastar engine. If you want to get the Hemi, you'll have to go in either a Overland or the Summit models. But with the 3.6 V6, you get 290 horsepower with 257 foot-pound of torque. Coming to the front driver's side, again, you've got more of that beautiful wicker beige material, along with that wood trim right there. You've got memory seats, no massage seats on this, it's only on the Summits. You've got your window controls and all of that, and a little bit of room just like the rear. And then of course your Alpine system, and it says Alpine right there. Also on the Limiteds, I'm not sure if you can see it at all right now, but you do get ambient lighting right underneath here, exactly like the Summits. As for the front driver and passenger seats, they're very comfortable. These are fully leather seats, obviously. They're perforated leather, which is very comfortable, especially on those long rides. Also, one thing I forgot to mention on the Laredo and the Summit video, you can actually adjust this, and you know, there's 4 different angles that you can put it, and then you push it all the way down to just reset it. And of course, both the driver and passenger seats are power adjustable. And in terms of interior colors, you can either get this color, which is your, you know, leather seats with the wicker beige and black material, or you can get a full black on black material. Right under here, you've got your foot pedals, nothing too fancy. And on this one as well, you've got your LED lighting right there. Right above that, you've got your hood latch release, your electronic parking brake, you've got your lighting controls with the fog lights, and then your dimmers for the interior, and then your power adjustable steering wheel, front, back, left, or right. And coming to the interior, it's, you know, very nice, obviously, just like I showed you on the Summit and Laredo. Up here, you've got nice leather that goes all the way around with, of course, that white silver stitching. That's seen everywhere. You've got your speakers here, middle, and then over in that corner. And another similarity that this has is this hard leather right here. Of course, the stitching with, again, the silver, which goes all the way along there. And you can't forget about the wood trim, which looks absolutely beautiful. And that also goes all around the vehicle. As for the steering wheel itself, it's full leather, and you can see bits and pieces of the silver that goes all the way around, and then your wood trim that goes all along here. Very nice. You got your Jeep logo, your controls for the center gauge cluster right there, your Bluetooth up top, and then your shortcuts right there. And then right next to that, you have your adaptive cruise control, stop and go, and then your cruise control settings there. On this one as well, you've got your paddle shifters on both sides, and to the left of the steering wheel, you've got your indicators and high beams. To the right, you've got your, you know, windshield wipers and the fluid and all of that stuff. By now, you should be very familiar with the center gauge cluster from my Laredo and Summit video, but if you are not, this is a, you know, digital gauge cluster, which is a beautiful thing to have because you can flick through obviously a bunch of different menus that you can, you know, go through of the vehicle, which is very nice, and you can kind of customize exactly what you need to. If you don't want to see these two little circle things, you just press and hold the OK button here and it switches the view. Very nice. And like I mentioned in my previous videos, these Grand Cherokee L's have a ton of standard safety features. For example, this Grand Cherokee L Limited will come with, it's some of the same features as the Laredo and the Summit, but for example, this one will have adaptive cruise control with stop and go, pedestrian cyclist emergency braking, full speed forward collision warning, blind spot and cross path detection, active lane management, advanced brake assist, rain brake support, and you get rear park assist with stop. Of course, in the center handrest, leather all around with the silver stitching. You open up the first section, a little bit of room, just like the rest of the Grand Cherokee L's. Close this, open up the middle, or the full section actually. You've got room inside there with your ambient lighting right there as well. And in the center here, it's very similar to everything else on the Grand Cherokee L's, which is the piano black that goes all the way around. Your cup holders, which are illuminated at night, of course. On this one, it does not have your, you know, air suspension, which usually you'll have a button here like I showed you on the Summit model. But it does have your off-road settings for, you know, sand, mud, snow, auto, and sport. There's one missing, of course, which is rock, because obviously when you put the vehicle in rock mode, that's meant for, you know, raising your suspension, but this one does not have that, so that option is not there. Even though you can still take this, you know, on a course, off-road course with rocks, you just have to be a little bit more careful. You've got your rotary right here for the gear selection. Right up here, you open this, you've got your wireless charger right there, very convenient. And of course, more USB ports and aux cables, and then another 12-volt adapter right there. Right above that, you've got your heating and cooling temperature controls that you can just use from here or from the touch screen. Now, this does have vented seats and heated seats, so you'll see right here is the heated, vented, and then your steering wheel is heated as well, and then the passenger side is heated and vented as well. On the center screen here, this is the 10.1-inch touchscreen, just like the Summit I showed you. Very nice screen, very responsive and quick. Up top here, you've got your auto, you know, stop start, your lane departure, traction control, and then your sensors right there. Now, if you go through here, it's exactly like the other models. You got your home button, you've got your music button right there. You've got your comfort button right here, which will show you actually a bunch of different options, of course, if you want to use this or just the touch right here. And then if you click rear, you can control the rear climate from here as well. You've got built-in navigation, or you can use your wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, because this does have the new Uconnect 5 system. You can also go through your phone settings if you do have your phone set up, obviously, vehicle, and then your app section here. You can have your favorites, recents, categories, or just all of them, and you can flick through it. This also does have the off-road pages because it's got these little things here. Just like I mentioned on the Summit video, you've got your vehicle dynamics, accessory gauges, your pitch and roll, your select terrain, which this image does change depending on what option you put it in. And then of course you've got your forward facing camera, which is very nice to have when you're going off-roading, and press of a button you can actually clean it. So if I go press this, there you are, it cleans it if there's any dirt or anything on there. And then you can go right to your backup camera, zoom in and zoom out. So if I go back into vehicle right here, and then up top we go to controls, here's the same settings that you saw on the Summit video, but this has an extra feature which I'll cover in 1 second. You've got your mirror dimmer for the top mirror for the rear view, third row folding for your headrest. You can just do it from a touch of a button. And of course on this one also you've got the surround camera, top view, and then a bunch of different angles of your vehicle. If you exit out of there, you've got also the forward facing camera, and then your rear view camera from right here. This is what I was talking about, that little black thing on the roof at the back. This is your fam cam. Again, you can see here, if you've got passengers, little kids and stuff like that, and you're on a road trip, you want to see what they're up to in the rear, just go ahead and you can see. You can kind of see like a zoomed in thing. If you click, let's say right here, it'll show you a zoomed in photo or an image, and then same thing for over here. And if we head back to the controls and we go on to off-road, this is your off-road pages. This is also another way that you can get into the section that I showed you here. Another cool thing that you can kind of play around with, kind of like a hidden thing, I'm not sure if most people know, but if you don't want these buttons right here at the bottom, the touch buttons in this particular order, all you have to do is just click and hold, and you can move it around to wherever you need to. And like I mentioned in the Summit video as well, because you have the, you know, the 10.1 inch screen, or if you do have the 8.4 inch touchscreen on the Laredos, don't worry, because since you have the Uconnect 5 system, you can actually do a bunch of cool different features right off the Uconnect 5 app on your phone, such as start or stop the vehicle, turn it on and off. You can lock and unlock your vehicle, check your tire pressure, flash the lights, and so much more. Also, if you're not the one driving your vehicle and you have like a family, friend, or whoever, someone else that's driving your vehicle, you can actually set boundary limits, monitor their speed, and then check on the vehicle location while others drive your vehicle. And this Limited does have this normal rear view mirror, or you can flick this and it turns into the digital mirror. These buttons right here, you can kind of move it around to, you know, exactly how you want to center it or whatever. Up top, this is not gloss like the Summit I showed you. This is kind of like a matte finish. Of course, you've got your interior lighting, your tailgate open and close, and then you've got your assist, SOS. For your sunroof, you've got your open, vent, and then your sunshade right here. This does obviously have the command panoramic sunroof, the dual pan, which looks absolutely beautiful. And for whatever reason, if you don't want a sunroof, you can actually get the Limited without the sunroof, I believe. So if you do end up opting out for the sunroof, I don't know why you would, you are not going to get the fam cam because that is with this sunroof package. And moving over to the passenger side, you can see this beautiful wicker beige interior. Right here, again, like I mentioned, the wood trim goes all along and all along here. Of course, in your glove department, you've got, you know, a decent amount of room, just like the rest of the Grand Cherokee L's. And I'm not sure if you can see the window sticker for this Grand Cherokee L Limited, but you can see the specs and then the standard features right along here. And then right here is your upgraded options, of course, that come standard on this. And that's it for this 2021 Grand Cherokee L Limited. Let me know in the comments down below if you love it or if you hate it.